Hi guys, welcome to the week 6 of our UI UX design course. So in this week we'll be looking at designing real interfaces. Cloning a web platform or a a user interface is just more of a UI exercise that you do to help sharpen your UI skills. So that's what we'll be doing now. And the interface we'll be looking at for the web is Apple. We will look at this Apple site to apple.com/ng. Go back home. Yeah, so this is what we'll be cloning. And I chose this because of the clean aesthetics of this site. It's so clean and it's good for beginners to just pick up and start using. You see all the sections have text, have a CTA, have an image that is used as the background, and you see this gradient feel, just clean aesthetics. You see the layout, right, left, just clean. So we're going to be using this for our tutorial. Not something too busy, just beautiful and clean. And if we have much time, we would cover the navigation, but I've treated prototypes, so you could achieve this through prototypes. If I have much time, we'll do this, but if we don't, I'll give you guys this as an assignment, right? You research and then couple with previous videos, you would see how you could be able to achieve all of these navigations, right? So let's go into it. I have already downloaded the asset that will be using, the images, the icons and everything. So we are going to attach it to this video. Check the link in the description. You would get an access to all of these files so that you'll be able to download and follow along, right? So what you need to do is you need to take a screenshot of this. Okay, I'm going to put the screenshots too of this site. I've already done that. I've taken a screenshot of the whole of the site. So while we begin, I'm going to import all of this asset and you can just tag along, just follow what I do. So to import, Ctrl+Shift+K to bring out this. Get familiar with shortcuts so you can just show all, you navigate to where you have your assets. And this is my screenshot, web screenshot. That was what I used to name. And then I import. So I'll hold down Shift to do a proportional scaling while I import. Shift, now drag, right, and let's go. So what's the width of this? 1440. So that's what I want for the width. So to clean this now, I'm going to bring my frame, F shortcuts, and then bring out frame. I'll use desktop. So because the width of desktop is also 1440, I'm trying to match this, right? Let me drag this down so we are more focused. Yes, so this is what I want to do. So if you are designing as a UI UX designer, it's best if you have an advantage if you know how HTML is being structured as a whole. So you are designing for developers that are going to code this to life. You are going to code the interface and then now go further to give it the logic to bring it to life. So those guys use HTML, developers use HTML to put out the structure of the site, to put out all this navigation. They use CSS for their styling. HTML will put out the text. iPhone will put out all of this. HTML will put out this learn more, but CSS will now style it, will give it all of this fill, and the rest. CSS will import the image. CSS will give you this gradient. So you need to understand how HTML are being structured. If you have that knowledge, it will just be an advantage for you. But since this is a beginner's course, we would go with our pace at our level, right? We'll go with our pace at our level. So if you look at this thing, let's try to interpret. So what's the first thing we are seeing? We are seeing the top navigation that has an icon, has this text: Mac, iPad, iPhone, support, where to buy, and then have an icon. So icon starts with an icon and then it ends with an icon, and it has 5 texts in between. So we are just going to try to imitate, not trying to be 100% accurate, right? We're just trying to imitate. So let's try to import our items and bring them, right? So Ctrl+Shift+K. I'll go to my folder where I have them stored. I'm just going to select all of them, right? And just bring them randomly. I can properly arrange them later. I'll scale them to the scale I want, right? So I'm still holding down Shift. Some of the images are duplicated, but I'm going to delete them. But the ones I don't need, so they are actually different. Let me just put them randomly. You come here, you come here. So let me just keep them here. So nothing too serious here. So we need an Apple icon. I'm not sure I downloaded this. This was not part of my asset. So it's just so simple. How do I get an icon, right? So let's use what we have here. I'm going to use a plugin called Iconify, an extension called Iconify, right? So I'll go to, it's open already. So I'll search for Apple. Yeah, so we see this. So what looks like an Apple logo? This looks like it. So I'm not seeing it well, so let me drop it here. What we need next is this search icon, right? Put search, just bring this guy here. I think we can use this. So that's the icon we need. So we need 5 texts. This starts and ends with this. So let me put T, my keyboard. What are the texts? So let me see: Mac, iPad, iPhone, support, where to buy. Can I remember? Mac, that's one text. I'm going to hold down Alt and drag to duplicate, or you select the text and press Ctrl D. I've duplicated that item, but it's on top of the original. So I'm drag it down and see, right? So we have Mac. We've treated text and all of this, so I won't waste much time on excuse me, on items that we've covered already. So Mac, iPad, but we're going to check all of this spellings and typography. Mac, iPad, iPhone, right? Where to buy. I know there's where to buy. Is it help or what? Support. Drag this support. So I'm going to select all of these items and put them in an auto layout. Select all, Shift A. So they are all in an auto layout, but they are in a different form of auto layout, that is grid. But we don't want to use grid. This was even introduced newly. It's like a new feature on Figma, but we don't want to use grid here. So I just want a horizontal layout for all of this, and I want it to, should I hug, right? So I want the height to also hug, right? But they are not properly aligned. So remember our lesson for auto layout. We'll put this and then center. It could be here, it could be here. So let me use center, right? Horizontal center, vertical center. So they are aligned now. So you see we are getting something close to this, but we know it starts with this icon, the Apple icon, and ends with the search. So they are not in the right position. I'm going to select my double click to go inside, or while pressing down your shift you click, but it will go further inside. I don't want you to see that from here. It's going deep down into the vector, but I want to select the frame that houses that icon, right? Let me hide this. So I will just use my keyboard forward arrow and just push it to the end. So we are looking good, but where to buy is closer to this. So we have Mac, iPad, iPhone, support where to buy. Mac, iPad, iPad should be in small caps, small letter, and the P should be in caps. Also iPhone, okay, iPhone is correct, support is correct. Where to buy, this should be like this. So we are almost there, right? So you notice this top navigation has the text, and then it has a fill, a white fill, right? So we're trying to clone this, right? So don't bother yourself with too much formalities, because if you want to follow formalities, you need to have like a color palette, typography set, and all of that. You need to arrange that. But we're just doing an exercise, a UI exercise, to clone this and see how close we can get to this. So let's forget about formalities for now and just try to clone to see if we could try to imitate this and achieve it, right? So this section, the whole of this place has this color, which is not white, it's more like an off-white. So the way to get this color is this. I'm going to give the whole of this color, but then we'll have a separate color for our navigation. So if I select this desktop now, this is the color. It has a feel of white, right? A shortcut is just click I, press I on your keyboard. It will bring up this color picker tool. Yeah, so you just go over the color you want to fill this with, So if I pick this now, see what will happen. It inherits this color, it picks the color. Excuse me, but that's not the color I want to pick. I want to pick this background color. So I select this, press I, pick this. So I have inherited this color, right? So we are getting close. So like I said, this navigation has a fill. So give our navigation a fill color. This is the fill. Click this plus button and we have, so by default it will come with a white fill. So that's okay for us. So let's take this properly. Let's use this our tools here. Take it to the up, take it to the top left. So I'm going to drag this and make it fill. So let's see what happens if we come here. We don't even have fill. Why? Because the parent container is not in auto layout, so you can't give this fill. So if this parent container was an auto layout, you would see that if you press this navigation and you come here, you see the option fill. But since it is not, we'll manually drag it and make it fill. So we're getting close. So this has a top and a bottom margin. a top and a bottom margin, so I'm just going to give it an eye gauge. So let's say 12, 12 and see. Right, so this is where you set your margin, top and bottom. So this represents top and bottom, this represents left and right. But if you want to target just top, you have to click this individual padding. Yeah, so it's padding, not margin. I beg your pardon, I mixed it up. So it's padding. So if you click this individual padding, it will now expound these options for you. It will break it down, separate the top from the bottom, so you could target an individual padding. But if you don't want to target, if you want to target 2 at a time, you can just come here and say 12. So it will give both top and bottom. Right, so that is what it did. So it's giving top and bottom, but of course from comparing you see that this guy is much. Now let's even start editing this text. These texts are what, 12, but you notice these ones are a bit tinier than 12, so they should be less than 12. So let me just select all of them, and I don't know if 10 is appropriate, but let's just do 10. So I think they are 10. They look like 10. So, and they are not exactly black. The colors are not dark. If you see, yeah, it's not exactly black. I don't know if I'm the one observing, but I feel it's not exactly black. Even though we are, I said I don't want us to be too detailed, but I'm becoming too detailed subconsciously, or is this unconsciously, right? So this margin and padding I gave is much. I'll reduce it to 8. It is still looking too much. So we need to reduce this, our icon size. What's the default size now? It's 24. 24 is quite much. We give it 16. So just follow what I do. You see, yeah, so we are almost close now. So this is a bit bigger than ours, but we can still leave ours like this. I think 8 is nice. I like 8, because if we do 12, it will be much. Let me see, 10. I don't like doing 10. I like 8. Alright. So, like I said earlier, professionally, or if you want to be formal, you're supposed to give this guy grid. Start putting grid layout and all of that, make it column, and what is the number you want. But we are not doing all that. Yeah, we are not doing all that. We are just trying to imitate these things roughly and see. So you see how you would achieve this navigation. It's not much, it's quite straightforward. I just did text, imported these icons, put them on auto layouts, give them a fill, give them a padding, and voila, we are there. So now the margin between these items are quite much compared to ours. So ours is looking like 51, but theirs is quite much. So let's tune it up to, if we give it 80, is 80 okay? So is 80 is looking okay. I think it's perfect for me. So I'm okay with 80. So what next we have is this text, iPhone. We have the header text, we have the subtext, and then we have the CTA. So we have iPhone. So T, iPhone, and then T, we have the other text, meet the iPhone 16 family, right? And then we have this button, learn more. So we know how to create a button already. So learn more, right? So let's start with our header. This, we need to make it big from what we're seeing. 32, okay. Not extra bold. 32 bold, iPhone. Not so perfect. Okay, 32 bold. It's looking small. Let's make it 60. 64 is still looking small. I'll just leave it at 40 for now. Should I do 42? Should I do 42? 42 is okay, not too perfect. So let's give this guy, boost it up to 20. Okay, so I'm going to make this an auto layout. Select the both of them, Shift A, but they need to be center aligned. So I made this center aligned, but you notice this guy is not coming to the middle, it's still by the left. So I will have to inspect this guy, and the way I will inspect is I'll double click on this, and then you notice the text parent container is filled already, and it has a left align, right? So there are two ways you could bring it to the middle. One way is to center align and you are okay, or if you left align, come to this place and it's saying fill, tell it to hug, it will come to the middle. Yeah, so let's go with the first one, center align. So we have this, and then so our learn more and blue. So we have learn more. If I want to create that button, I'll just make it an auto layout, Shift A, and then give it margin, padding, right? Padding. It comes with a default padding of 10, which is almost looking nice already. So let's give it a fill, but we need this color, right? So I'll use the color picker tool, sample color. I say this guy. So and our text needs to be white. So but if I click the button, you can see color selection colors here. So you can select colors. So if you click a button, every element inside with their different colors, you'll be able to, they will all be lined up here, and then you can just directly select the color you want to manipulate or change. So I want this to be white. Make it white. So are we going to, this is not looking regular. So this text is looking like medium. It has some form of weight, right? Go back, and then it has a border radius that made the left and the right side almost a half circle. So how we will achieve that is we come here and give it a corner radius, right? So you try to give it a corner radius as a beginner until you achieve that semicircle for the edges. So you see, like from 25 you are at semicircle already. So whether you put 25 or 50, you are still achieving the same thing. So it doesn't really matter, right? But then we need some space by the left and right. It's looking too tight. Ours is looking tight. So we'll increase the padding for the left and right padding. Let's make it 24 and see. 24 is it too much? It's looking a bit much. Looking much. Let's make it 16 be too. 16 is okay. For me, 16 is okay. So it now looks like our text is smaller. Yeah, our text is 10. Yeah, let's make it 14. So this is looking okay for me. And this guy is looking a bit smaller. Is it? So this I is on the H, this I is not on the H. So this guy is big. Either of them is either the subtext is big or this one is too small. So let's make it 20. The I is on the T. I is on the T. So this is okay. So these are in an auto layout already. So what I'll do is, I think the spacing between these guys are equal. I will just take this, drag it to here, and we are here already, right? So moving forward, I will center these guys, center them. I'm this slow just so that we get it, and then I'll bring in, okay, I center these guys. So I said I want to design like I have developers in mind. So this will not just hang if you're actually doing the HTML for this. In short, it will hug this guy here. It will hug this guy like this. So we'll now give a margin between this element and this element. So what do? Put like this, a margin, let's say 80, and see 80 is too much, let's say 64 or 42. So 42 is okay for me, like this. And then the margin between these guys, let's say 16. I'm okay with this. I'm okay. So the next thing we need to do is to bring our image. So we have this from our asset, right? So okay, so what they even did, we didn't follow this method, but it doesn't really matter now. So what they did is this guy background color works for this space. Well, let's bring our own. Control X, I try to copy it, select this frame, and Control V, but it's small down, so we are going to, you can just drag it up, and then we are going to scale this guy up. We'll scale it up and try to just imitate its eye gauge to see that it fits this. So I'm going to take this down. One way to take it down is this, is through this side menu here, sidebar, and then this is our frame called desktop. So this is your image. You see your image is at the top, and that's why it's covering this text and this guy navigation. So you need to bring your text below, right? So bring your text below. So let's compare rather, and then see, do we need to increase the size of this? I think we need to increase the size of this, bring it to the middle. So this is almost perfect. So let's just leave this way and move forward, right? But I said I want us to imitate this guy. So I can do a trick now. I can just make a rectangle, and if I want to be perfect now, and see that this guy is coming down too much, it's not the same, I would fit this. So first of all, this 16 is much. That's the first problem, right? This 16 is much. And then what else again? What else again? Is this guy much too? So not so perfect, but let's leave it like this. So this guy too, notice this guy stops here. And so this guy needs to come up. Much needs to come up. Not too perfect, like I said. So I think I'm okay with this. Right? I think I'm okay with this. So if we like, we can make this a separate section. You can make this whole site like this a one piece, a separate section. Make it a complete section, right? Make it a complete section. With that, we will be able to achieve these guys you are seeing here. That's if we want to go that detail to achieve this guy. Yeah, we'll be able to achieve this guy. So let me make it a section. So I'm going to just drag this up somewhat to this level, maybe even further to this level. Right? So if I do that, let me just drag this guy down again. We're going to merge everything together, so I don't want navigation on this section. We're going to reuse this item here. So it's just to change this to MacBook Air. Change this text to sky blue color. Stop. And then we have something below. Sky high performance.